Hey guys, MC Mura here, wishing you all happy holidays and a happy new year. And although we're still in the middle of the year 2 pass of Street Fighter 6, Capcom just put out the teaser trailer for Mai, and oh my god, over 5 million views, that is insane. We're still waiting for Mai and Elena, but I figured why not talk about the future, what we may see in Season 3 of Street Fighter 6, the Year 3 pass. And I'm gonna be real with you, I will expect Capcom to put out 4 characters. It seems that is the workload that they're gonna go for with the remainder of Street Fighter 6's life cycle. So we're going for 4 characters, and it's not gonna be strictly a wish list. If this was just a wish list, I would go for Cody, Poison, Armika, and Balrog. These are the 4 characters I want to see the most in Street Fighter 6, but nope, I'm gonna go with my buddy Detective Manon because we're gonna investigate Capcom choices so far during Street Fighter 6, try to come up with some logic on how the selection process is made and what we may see. So let's try to predict together. So for year 1 of Street Fighter 6, Capcom chose to release Rashid, Aki, Ed, and Akuma. Year 2 they went with M. Bison, Terry, Mai, and Elena. And although the selection do seem pretty random, if I'm being honest, I still think there are some data, there are some patterns that we can see from these choices. For starters, it seems like Capcom is going for a big bad villain each season. Judging at least by the Akuma and M. Bison selection. It also does not seem like Capcom is going for a specific male to female characters ratio, which typically was the case, especially if you take a look at Street Fighter 5, where most seasons would have 4 male characters and 2 females. Here it seems like they're a little bit more loose with that restriction. Another theme that we can deduce from these selections is redemption. A lot of characters that I think Capcom wasn't totally satisfied with how they were received. Capcom wanted another shot at them. Aki is the evolution of Fang because a lot of people didn't like how Fang played or how he came out in general for Street Fighter 5. Ed as well, a character that was heavily criticized. And the biggest of all is Elena. Elena is the last character I would have expected to come back, if I'm being totally honest, because to a lot of people, Elena ruined Street Fighter 4. Elena was almost like a broken character in that game, so Capcom wanting to redeem her, that's a big tell, and this is something that you can see with the roster overall. You have Jamie, which is like the evolution of the twins. They want to have them in the game but not be broken, which I think is why they are very careful with how they balance Jamie in general. Lily is an evolution to T-Hawk. We have DJ the man coming back himself, looking all cool and having one of the biggest glow-ups I have ever seen for a character in a fighting game, especially if you take a look at that Street Fighter 4 DJ, because that one, yeah, that kind of sucked. So redemption is a big deal in how Capcom choose to pick returning characters. I also think Capcom wanna have like a popular standard character, someone that is just easy to pick up and play without really much like super weird mechanics. We had Akuma in Season 1, we had Terry somewhat in Season 2, a very standard character. Now, with all of that being said, let's tackle that big boss character, right? The big bad. And there are 3 characters that came to mind for me. The first obvious choice is Sagat, right? He's a very popular character. Everyone wanna see Sagat in the game. The second one is Gen, a character that we haven't seen in a while, a very tricky character, but I do think is kind of niche. I'm not really sure if Capcom wanna like use Gen as a big bad, and I don't see them going for Thess either since it's too soon in my opinion. So the character that I do think will actually be the big bad of year 3, the one that fits many of the choices I've just mentioned, is G. And yes, G is a character that Capcom themselves said that they think G is the real boss character of Street Fighter 5. G does have story relevance, G does have a storyline that I don't know, like wasn't the earth gonna explode or something, and like it was all over and we never followed up on that. G does have some very different gameplay to any other characters that we have seen, and I imagine that they are also gonna mesh G and Q a little bit, maybe give us like a variant of them even, and they could play like a charge character with dash threats, they could have a command grab. I also G was sort of like a defensive grappler in Street Fighter 5. So I think G would fit amazingly, or like a G variant, as the big bad of the Year 3 boss. For the second character, I imagine Capcom wanna go with someone who is kind of popular, also kind of easy to play, a character that would sell the game, a character people would buy the Year 3 pass just to play, someone who is highly... It's Sakura. It is Sakura pretty much, right? I can't keep going much with this one. Obviously Sakura, because Sakura is a girl Shoto and people absolutely love Shotos, and they are so stupidly good in this game. There's a move. If you want to be good in Street Fighter 6 and you want to have a consistent main, just play Shotos, man. One of the Shotos will always be top tier in this game. Anyways, Sakura is an extremely popular character, probably the most popular out of the characters that are currently not in the game, and when Capcom wanted to give Street Fighter 5 another chance at life, repackage the game and revitalize it with Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition, they went with Sakura up front. This is who she chose to demonstrate first. So they have a lot of faith in it. This is a character with a lot of star power and she's a very straightforward, easy to pick up and play pick. So obviously it's gonna be her. What do you guys think? They're convinced? I hope so. If you like the video but you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Over 70% of my viewers aren't, so you get to see more of me and my friends, the EX-Men. And yes, like in my canon, Magneto is I recruited him. Excuse the silliness and enjoy the rest of your video. Now for the redemption character. This is the one that is actually the most tricky because there's a lot of picks. There's a lot of characters that didn't land. At first, I thought about Falk, which I honestly think would be pretty cool. I do think there is absolutely a place for a staff user in Street Fighter in games. Billy Kane is like one of the coolest characters ever, but we already have JP who does have a cane and he uses Psycho Power, so Falk seems like a very hard sell. I thought about maybe Hugo or Abigail, but I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest. Maybe, but Hakan maybe. But Hakan also is a grappler with like an upgrade style. And I don't really see him going for that, since it seems like he would overlap a little bit with Lily. I know they're not the same thing, but they're kind of the same thing. And then I landed on my two picks. The one that I would be shocked if they actually made it, which is El Fuerte. I still think Capcom wanna have a luchador in there. So El Fuerte maybe, but this character didn't get any love, and with all that being, I don't know if anyone would ever be excited to see El Fuerte. So the character that I do think Capcom will probably try to redeem is Rufus. I know, like who likes Rufus? He was not a character that was particularly played that much, although he did see a lot of tournament representation, particularly because of Justin, but he's not like a well-liked character. He's not a character that people want to see back, and I think that is precisely why Capcom will bring him back. Capcom want to redeem characters. Like, you think we are gonna fail again at making Rufus cool? We're gonna make the coolest fat guy ever in a fighting game. Rufus is a challenge, and because he is a challenge, both aesthetically, both gameplay wise, everything about him, to be honest, personality, I think that's why Capcom is gonna go for him. I really do. And I personally, if it was for me in this pick, I would go for Falk, for characters that I would like to see redeemed. But I think it's gonna be Rufus. Unfortunately, I do think it's gonna be Rufus. So for the final spot, I do think Capcom will try to bring someone that is gonna be hype for this game. Someone that is interesting, someone that's flashy, someone that can demonstrate Street Fighter 6 as a beautiful fighting game. And with all of that being said, I do think the best character to do all of that is gonna be C Viper. And I'm honestly shocked that Viper never made it into Street Fighter V. And despite her appearing many times in the story art, and even in Street Fighter 6, I think she appears in like Jury's World Tour or like arcade mode gameplay. So Viper is still in the universe, she's still around, but she haven't been playable in so long. And that is just weird to me because she's a very flexible character. She's like the gadgets queen. You can do with her so much. Imagine the fire and electricity effect, super jumps. Man, Viper would be so sick in this game, and she would fit this game very well as well. She is a very aggressive character, very flashy, and that is what Street Fighter 6 is all about. So I imagine that Capcom would probably want to tackle Viper once more. And that is pretty much it. I wish that Capcom would increase the quota for a little bit. I really want to see Cody as well. I want to see Poison. I want to see Armika. I want to see them so much, but I honestly don't have hopes that they're gonna make it. As sad as it is, I think that the chances in Season 3 is very small. Maybe Armika. Armika is the one that actually probably got a shot, but Cody and Poison... Poison probably... Just bring back Cody. Just bring back Cody. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.